appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello there, welcome to CoreTV News on the Hour with Nifemi Oguntoye. Resident doctors have commenced an indefinite nationwide strike. The strike was called by the Nigerian Medical Association. Oluwaseyi Adegoke visited some hospitals in Lagos. Her report is presented from our studios.
The Nigerian Medical Association says it has been taken for granted by the federal government, and until the federal government meets the 24 points demand, there is no going back on the strike. President of the Resident Doctors Association, Lagos University Teaching Hospital Chapter, Omojowolo Lubumi, says though they sympathize with patients and the sick who will be mostly affected, there is no going back on the planned strike.
The issues involved are many, and those have been well outlined in the communique that was issued earlier. And on this issue, NMA has had series of negotiations with the federal government. Now, some of the issues, there are 24 of them, but it comprises issue concerning residency training, funding of residency training, issue of healthcare coverage for Nigerians, issue of consultancy status, issue of position appointment of the chief medical director, and issue concerning abolition of the position of the deputy CMAC, among other things. They are contentious issues which NMA, despite all our negotiations, have not been able to make any appreciable progress. So, and we have been forced to call this strike action.
Vice President of the Resident Doctors Association, Akikumi Afolabi, says the dialogue they had with the federal government did not yield any positive results.
The Nigerian Medical Association has engaged in so many discussions with the federal government, and an ultimatum was given. And even after the ultimatum was given, the federal government invited them to a meeting with the attendant, and all the matters were discussed. But I think the association has not seen enough sincerity being demonstrated by the federal government, and that's why the strike has been called upon. Most of the issues in the 24-point demand are issues that are very easy to resolve, you understand, if the government shows a lot of sincerity. So negotiations have actually been ongoing for a very long time. For some of the agreements were signed in January, this is July, a lot of them has not been met. So the truth is that negotiations have been ongoing for a very long time. But it is high time, something that has to be done, just to put the federal government back to their words.
The Nigerian Medical Association says the strike is aimed at saving the healthcare delivery system from retardation.
The freezing of the Adamawa State Government account by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has taken its toll on civil servants. Days after payday, civil servants in the state are yet to receive their June salaries. No one has offered explanation over the cause of the delay. The state's Accountant General, Nasir Mohammed, says the Anti-Graft Commission is now in charge of the state's treasury. The Adamawa State government's bank accounts were frozen in June amidst outcry of looting uncovered in an ongoing investigation. The FCC says its investigation was triggered by petitions alleging massive looting of the state's treasury over invoicing and inflation of contracts. Meanwhile, the Adamawa State Deputy Governor Bala James Ngilari has debunked the allegation of financial misconduct levied against him by the State House of Assembly. In a notice of impeachment raised by the legislators of the State Assembly, the Deputy Governor was accused of misappropriating 50 million naira state fund.
I didn't divert one kobo I repeat, 1 kobo. If anybody has any contrary, if they can let him bring it. It must be something arising from the figment of somebody's imagination. I carry my responsibilities in accordance with the law. In no way did I misappropriate public funds, but it should be remembered that I cannot call brief in respect of any activity that happened after I left the Ministry of Commerce.
Ngilari expressed displeasure at the action of elders and stakeholders of the party for not inviting him to a meeting where a communique was raised against him and the governor. The Senate will on Wednesday begin screening 4 new ministerial nominees. Senate President David Mark announced these in the course of Tuesday's plenary. The ministerial nominees to be screened include former governor of Kano State, Ibrahim Shekarau, and Prince Dayo Adeyeye, who is to represent Ekiti State in the cabinet. Others are Abdul Bulama, Yobe State, and Stephen Olu of Delta State. An explosion have reportedly killed people at the popular Monday market in Maiduguri, northeastern Nigeria. The explosives were said to have been hidden in a vehicle carrying charcoal. No group has claimed responsibility for the attack yet. The driver of the vehicle was believed to be among those killed, while several vehicles were said to have either been damaged or destroyed. Witnesses say the casualty figure would have been higher, but for the absence of most people who were still at home due to the Ramadan fast. Nigeria security agencies have confirmed that Boko Haram elements have planted landmines in Sabisa forest to stop troops from moving in. Police spokesman Frank Umba told journalists at the National Information Center that this is one of the hardship security operatives are facing. He added that Nigeria's war against insurgency is an unusual one.
The use of landmines are clearly prohibited. The landmine has been banned in most countries of the world. Nigeria is a signatory to that treaty or that convention banning the use of landmines. And yet these criminal groups use landmine. And I think you need to understand some of this. The police, for example, no matter how well you want to arm your police force, you cannot turn your police force to an artillery or an infantry unit. It is still a police force. So, by international standards, there are weapons that the police force will not be equipped with. So I think you just need to understand this and have it at the back of your mind that we are in an unusual times fighting an unusual war, and there are certain things that happens in those unconventional situations.
Nigeria's military says a businessman who participated actively in the abduction of hundreds of schoolgirls in Chibok is now in custody. The man, Babuji Jihari, is also believed to have spearheaded the murder of the emir of Goza. Defense headquarters said in a statement on its website that the terror suspect uses his membership of the youth vigilante group, popularly known as Civilian JTF, for his terrorist activities. It added that his main role in the group is to spy and gather information for the terrorist group. Defense headquarters claimed that Babuji had been coordinating several deadly attacks in Maiduguri since 2011, including daring attacks on customs and military locations. The terror suspect was said to have provided information that led to the arrest of 2 female members of the group, including one Hafsat Bako, who coordinates the payment of operatives on Boko Haram payroll after each operation. The federal government had admitted that insurgents attacked 3 communities within 10 kilometers of Chibok in Borno State. But in spite of that, coordinator of the National Information Center, Mike Omeri, says government is committed to protecting the citizenry. He added that contrary to reports, soldiers were on hand to confront the insurgents.
Chibok area.
The Chibok area attack.
I confirm that soldiers are around there, and they also participated, and that's why I said they attacked and also were able to repair and kill some of the attackers who were fleeing from where they were committing the act.
Almost 1 week after the bomb attack on Emma Plaza in the Wuse district of Abuja, the place is still crawling with security operatives. They say the area is still an active crime scene, so shop owners have not been allowed to access the shopping mall. Pa Samuel tells us more.
Today is the first working day of the week, and these shop owners have resumed for what they assume will be normal business activities. But to their surprise, the plaza is still under heavy security watch. For many whose businesses were not affected by the explosion, the only thing they want is to be allowed to open for business.
The business is down now. It's not really good for us because the deed has been done. We just want government to see what they can do to put an end to this mess. We are really in a mess. Everything has paralyzed the whole business. Nothing is going on now.
But the police are insisting that until adequate security measures are in place, the plaza will remain locked.
So the owners of these plazas will put certain things in place to protect the environment and to protect those who are coming into this place. So when these measures, when the list is given to them and they now meet up, we can now open the place.
The police commissioner also reeled out security measures put in place to check insurgent activities within Abuja.
Everybody dealing on gas and gas cylinders will register with the local DPO of this area. That it deals on such materials. These scavengers, you know them, Yan Bola also, you know, who move from one place to the other, residential areas, picking containers. We have banned them from today. I think again we have also placed a ban on private vehicles used as commercial taxis. If you want to use a vehicle as a taxi, go and register it and paint it to Abuja color.
Soldiers from the Brigade of Guards are also on ground, collaborating with other security agencies.
For a place like this, you would need to have at least basic a CCTV system that has capacity to record. So for what happened a few days back, we could take a look at the recordings, and then from there the investigations can continue.
For now, Emma Plaza is still an active crime scene alongside the neighboring Banex Plaza. The implications is that hundreds of shops here will remain shut until investigations are completed. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Meanwhile, security has been beefed up in some shopping plazas in Abuja following an early morning bomb scare. Shop owners and customers were subjected to security checks at many of the plazas, including Sky Plaza, located close to PDP Secretariat at Wuse Zone 6. Again, Pius Samuel has details.
This plaza, like other plazas in Abuja, is known for all kinds of businesses. Before now, customers go in and out without going through serious security check. But today, the story is different because of an early morning bomb scare. This is what shop owners and customers are made to go through on Monday. Despite the bomb scare, some shop owners were seen going about their normal business activities. This man says business is at a low ebb since the recent bombing of Emma Plaza.
We Nigerians, we are tired, we are afraid, everybody's afraid. Whether in your house, whether in your shop, whether in your business, whether in the car, traveling.
But not everybody has stopped patronizing shopping plazas and malls in Abuja.
There is security here. You see, if you want to enter now, you see they will search you. And if you want to go out, you will be searched.
A look around the plaza, however, showed that many shops are under lock and key. The nearby Wuse market is still bustling as ever. There are, however, more security personnel on duty, even though there's no sign of bomb detecting equipment in sight. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
The police in Kaduna have dismissed reports that a bomb was discovered opposite the Queen Amina Secondary School in Kakuri. Residents of the area had panicked when news filtered out that the bomb had been placed by the roadside. But police spokesman Aminu Lawan told CoreTV News that a bomb squad dispatched to the scene found that it was a bag of clothes. The fear of possible attack of members of the National Conference by Boko Haram has enveloped the conference, as a delegate Michael Zekume says he received a message on his telephone of a possible attack by members of the sect in Abuja this week. Raising a matter of public urgency, he asked for the permission of the chairman of the conference to read the message and was granted. Some delegates later discussed the issue among themselves, wondering when the bombing would stop. A delegate, Obionelefo, had last Thursday raised the issue of safety of his colleagues when, having looked at the perimeter wall of the National Judicial Institute, observed that there were no security operatives manning them. He therefore called for security operatives to be drafted to the perimeter fences to forestall insurgents from breaking into the premises and causing bloodshed. The Chief of Army Staff, Kenneth Minima, says the federal government would eradicate all forms of terrorism and violence in the country. Minima gave the assurance in a keynote address at the Armored Vehicles West Africa Conference held in Abuja. He says the armed forces are taking adequate measures in collaborating with relevant government ministries, departments and agencies to stem the tide of insecurity and ensure public safety and human rights. Minima added that the measures were complemented with improved training, enhanced troops welfare, and relevant doctrinal review. The measures, according to him, will also regenerate the military and strengthen the posture to deal with national and global security challenges. One of the national leaders of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, says the party will avoid at all costs a repetition of the outcome of the just concluded Ekiti State governorship election in Osun State. The former Lagos governor, who spoke against the backdrop of the August 9th governorship election in Osun, made this known at the inaugural edition of the Freedom House Democracy Lecture Series. Olajumoke Olatuji was there and brought back this report.
Nigeria's predicament, poverty, terrorism and democracy was a theme of discussion at the inaugural lecture series. The guest speaker, Larry Diamond, urged Nigerian politicians to remain peaceful and imbibe the spirit of patriotism and oneness during elections in order to avoid violence.
I think the key is neutrality and efficiency in every respect. So INEC has to be very transparent, and it needs to mobilize the resources and organization very early on in order to perform its function.
A national leader of the All Progressives Congress and former governor of Lagos State, Bola Tinubu, who along his party regret the loss of Governor Kayode Fayemi at the just concluded governorship poll in Ekiti State, says plans are in top gear to avoid a repetition in Osun State.
Personally, I'm still studying a whole lot of things during this process before I make my comment. For now, I respect the party's position and the candidates' concession. But that process is very necessary for us to learn from any mistake or mistake. Our liberty is subject to the intimidation and harassment at gunpoint. This is democracy at gunpoint. We are not in the House of Freedom yet.
Minority Whip of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, speaks on internet democracy, ordered that Nigerians need more enlightenment on how to distinguish between leaders and those who do not have the long-term interest at heart.
For me, we want internal democracy. It is good for democracy. But the people have to have a buy-in and agree and decide that the issues that will guide that internal democracy, the debates that will come up in that internal democracy, are those the issues that will inform their votes. Not money, not anything else. But those are the issues that will inform what they will do at the primaries. And that failing, we will continue to recycle those who we do not want, and that will not work well for our democracy.
For his part, the governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, urged the organized labor to unite as a voice of the people against all form of corruption and terrorism for the progress of the country.
Labour has not issued any statement recently about what is going on about 20 million. Two of us. NBA. In fact, I woke up that day and I read a statement by NBA on the insurgency and I nearly committed suicide. Because NBA has not spoken for the past 1 year. Two of us. They are not speaking. Before, you used to have vibrant NBA. Right? Now the NBA is no longer speaking. NBA, are they speaking? Remember that 83, but they're not speaking. So until all of us come together and say today will be the end of stealing, it will not come to an end.
The Guardian states that the present state of the nation is undesirable and requires a tireless and collective engagement of its leadership on topical issues for the promotion of the rule of law and democracy. Olajumoke Olatunji, CoreTV News, Lagos.
The Ado-Ekiti High Court has reserved ruling in the case instituted by the Citizens Popular Party and E11 seeking the disqualification of the state governor-elect Ayodele Fayose. Justice Olusegun Ogunyemi reserved the ruling after hearing the preliminary objection of the council to the People's Democratic Party. Rashid was there and filed in this report.
The case instituted by the socio-political group in Ekiti, the E11, and the Citizens Popular Party against the candidature of Ayodele Fayose was earlier adjourned on the 16th of June. Here are the counsels to the defendants on the hearing.
We had obtained leave of court to serve, and we had also endorsed the process.
The summons was not properly endorsed. The first defendant is based in Abuja, and they didn't give the requisite number of days, and it was not endorsed the way it ought to, as mandated, and then we cited cases.
With the argument raging on as to whether the PDPs actually served writ of summons within the ambit of the law, the counsels again argue if the case, which has the Independent National Electoral Commission joined in the suit, should be heard by a state court or federal court.
INEC was joined as a party, and INEC ought not to be joined. If you are questioning the conduct of INEC, you ought to go to Federal High Court and not a State High Court.
The law gives you that leverage to either approach the Federal High Court or State High Court. So, with due respect, they cannot be correct by saying that we must approach the Federal High Court.
Counsel to the PDP thus discarded reliefs of the plaintiffs, describing their prayers as medicine after death.
All the reliefs sought have become academic, and all their reliefs are saying stop him from contesting, stop him from campaigning, stop INEC from allowing him to contest. This is somebody who has contested, he has won. Grievances should now go to the tribunal.
However, counsel to the E11, Rafiu Balogun, maintains that the case is still alive and its outcome will definitely bind on earlier decisions by INEC to conduct the just concluded election.
This is a pre-election matter. Their prayer is that you cannot contest this election because you are not qualified. Delay the hearing of the substantive matter would not affect this matter. We want to throw what we call a fait accompli on court. The court has the power to undo that which they have done when the matter is in court. The court has the power to undo that which they have done when the matter is in court.
Following the submissions of both sides to the case, the presiding judge reserves ruling to the 18th of next month, while substantive hearing is slated for the 31st of the same month. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
Deaths of both migrants spark anger and frustration in Italy. Join me after this break for details of the story. Don't go away.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Welcome back. The deaths of 30 boat migrants have sparked anger and frustration in Italy as critics accuse the government of failing to deal with an immigration crisis, which saw over 5,000 people rescued in 24 hours. Rescuers had found the bodies stuffed into the hold of a fishing boat from North Africa when they boarded the vessel to help the most vulnerable of almost 600 migrants in the vessel. A Navy doctor says the migrants had likely suffocated in the tiny space and advised against removing the bodies, as it was not yet clear whether there were poisonous gases in the hold, which might affect others. The League has warned Prime Minister Matteo Renzi's government that plucking asylum seekers and immigrants to safety from their rickety boats only encourages more people to set out across the Mediterranean for Europe. It's not the first time Italian rescuers have found migrants dead on their overcrowded boats, but never before was there such a large number. The boat is being towed by the Italian Navy and is expected to arrive Tuesday in Pozzallo on the southeast coast of Sicily. And that story wraps it up on CoreTV News this hour. We'll be back at 9:45 for the primetime news. To stay with us.